What is going on, y'all? Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Chris Hennessy, and this is Ending the Stigma, where I sit down with some really amazing people and just have some cool conversations on anything from addiction to being justice involved to human trafficking to any kind of comeback story from any habit hang up or anything like that. Um, this is season 5, and I can't even believe it's been this long now. My guest tonight was a guest on probably season 2. I should have gone back and looked before I started, but I didn't. He was one of my original LinkedIn connections. We've been kicking it tough for a few years now on social media. Got to meet him live in person coming up on a year ago, last September. I went up to Memphis for my birthday. It just so happened that they were having a block party on Melrose, and I got to meet him then. But he was in this. We were talking about this backstage, and we had church backstage, y'all. We just had church for real. He was supposed to be a guest a couple months ago, and y'all have heard me talk about it a little bit about it on the show. I posted about it for the first time today, just because I wasn't in a place to be able to do that yet. But after my brother died, I got dead off in the middle of a bottle of bourbon, and I didn't come out of it until March. Didn't start coming out of it till March. It was a little bit of a process, but the last time he was supposed to be on the show, it was 6:30. I was supposed to go live in 30 minutes, and I texted him and I said, "Look, bro, I can't do it. This is what happened after Eric died. Started drinking a lot, and I was in a bad way." And we were talking about this backstage. Is I've quit a couple times or tried to quit, gone through the withdrawals and all that kind of stuff. That night was the absolute worst night of me trying to quit. I threw up so many times that night that my esophagus was burned from stomach acid. And it took a couple days for that to heal up. That was on a Monday. It took till probably Thursday or Friday before I was back right again. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say this. We were talking about how just admitting it one time to somebody, how freeing that is. You don't have to get I live half my life on social media. That's my choice. There's a lot of it y'all don't hear. But I recover out loud so that for the ones that are suffering in silence, right? But there's some things you don't always have to get out there and post on social media. You just have to tell one person, and just how freeing that is and the deliverance you can get from that and how God can use that to set you free. And so I texted him and I was like, "Bro, I can't do this. I'm so messed up right now. I'm sick. I was shaking. I had the body shakes real bad, throwing up." And it wasn't 2 minutes later, and he called me, and he didn't preach at me. He didn't point his finger at me. He just said, "Bro, I love you. Don't worry about it. We're going to make it through this," and just encouraged me and lifted me up. And that's really what this is all about, y'all. Because, I had a lot of shame and guilt and felt like a fraud for going through all this while I'm trying to start a nonprofit to help people in recovery. But again, we were talking about this backstage. When somebody relapses or somebody's in the middle of it, they don't need to be preached at. They already know. They know all the things. I knew all the things. All I needed was him to say, "I love you, bro. You got this. I'm here for you." And that was really the beginning of the end of all that. The beginning of the end of the worst part of it. I spent from March until May really, really fighting it. And then that was back in May. Anyway. So that's just a backstory on my guest tonight. This is what kind of guy he is. If you caught the last show that he was on, you learned about him and learned that he started doing drugs. Somebody turned him on to, I think it was cocaine, when he was 8 or 9. He was just a kid, maybe 10. I'll let him tell that when he gets out here. Done prison time, been in and out of jail and prison and addiction and all that kind of stuff. Why is my computer froze up over here? That's not good. I hope y'all can still hear me, and I'm not just, there we go. Sorry, y'all. My Facebook page was froze up. So anyway, now that I've said all that, I'm going to bring out my brother, Chris Smith. What's up,
dude? Up, brother? What's going on, big man?
Not a lot, man. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, man. I love where we can talk authentically and raw and just keep it real. You know what I mean? Yeah, because That's what this is right here, and that's what and people like us, man. That's how we want it, raw, uncut, pure.
Yeah. Yeah. I did.
You know,
Look, man, like I tell people all the time, I didn't make it through years of addiction and almost 8.5 years in prison for you to kind of sugarcoat everything. Like,
come on,
just tell me.
come on.
Just tell
That's
me.
it. Just tell me. Just tell me. Yeah, that's it. Let's just have straight talk. I love that. So I appreciate 5 seasons. That's incredible, bro.
It is
Man.
incredible, man.
Yeah. And I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you what. I'm going to tell you what. You never know who's watching that may never engage, but it still inspires hope in them and it changes their life. We never know. You know what I mean?
You never
That,
know. And I
yeah.
get messages all the time from people that they never hit the like button. They never commented, but
Yeah.
I'll get a message every once in a while from someone that was like, "Thanks, bro. I needed that one tonight."
Yeah. Golly. Listen, I got a message from somebody I didn't even know about. I don't know. I guess it's been about 2 months ago now. And I get a lot of messages. I do. I get a lot of thank
Yeah.
yous and all that stuff. And I'm grateful for that stuff, man. But this one really hit me in the feels, and it was from
Hmm.
a woman, young woman that I didn't know. And all the message said was thank you. And I said, and so I just responded with, for what? 3 question marks, you know. And she
Yeah.
sent me a video. She sent me a video of a young lady talking, and the young lady was saying, she said, have you ever met someone that saved your life and they didn't even know they did?
Mm.
Bro, wow. Wow. And I was,
Man.
so you never know, man, the
Yeah.
things that we do, the voice that we raise, where we talk about hurt, pain, trauma, the past, our experiences, addiction, just defeat, hopelessness, feeling like we don't
Yeah.
have a sense of purpose. And when we put that out there, but then we tie that in with an encouraging word that, hey, we still have today, and so you still have meaning and value and life to
Yeah.
live. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, man, it just hit me in the feels. I was like, man, you don't ever know. And I was wondering why I got on Facebook. I didn't even, God was leading me to, and I was like, God, I'm not going on Facebook. I've been on for a year now, Facebook,
Yeah.
and
Same. A
but,
little over
but
a
it,
year now.
yeah, yeah, but it's like that. It's for that reason, right there. You know.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think God, I mean, he was definitely setting it up because I was 100% a LinkedIn guy. Um,
Yeah.
that was it. Didn't want any part of Facebook, none of that. And
No.
I got on Facebook right before my brother died. And I think it's because the people we're trying to reach are not always necessarily on LinkedIn.
No.
You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
Oh, absolutely.
They're on
Yeah.
Facebook, they're on TikTok, they're on Insta, they're on the other
Yeah.
ones, but they're
Yeah.
not on LinkedIn.
Yep. Now here shortly, I had a really good following on LinkedIn, man. I had
Did
a
you did you snooze your account or hibernate it or something? Because I tried to tag you today and it wouldn't pull you up.
oh, I discontinued it.
Oh,
I
really?
just
That's why
yeah,
that's why I couldn't find you.
bro. Listen, I just closed it out. I just
Okay.
closed it out. I just closed it completely out. Like
Yeah.
nothing. Nothing, no
Yeah.
more. You know. And I was like, because it is more business related. Now I will be getting back on there for business purposes in this new venture I may talk about here in a little bit. But God was leading me into Facebook because it was where the people didn't have to have it together. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was where uh, and because everybody wanted to look successful and appeal
Yeah.
to what they were trying to uh, display or market or whatever, and that's
And
cool.
that's fine.
That
Yeah, like
yeah, that's
that's what you
great.
got to do. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to play
yeah,
the game whenever you're in
but
business like that.
phenomenal. Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I just knew that I just knew when God was leading me to that space that and I didn't want to get bombarded and I wanted to be in moderation
Yeah.
with my social media. So I was like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing, and so yeah, so here we
Yeah.
are. And of course God knows best, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So look, dude, before we get into what you got going on now and the new stuff, just like briefly hit on your backstory. You just kind of tell people, where you are, where you came from, and all that kind of stuff. For those of the ones that are here that didn't hear last time or don't know.
Absolutely. So when I was younger, my very first memory was of my father leaving us. I was 4 years old, and that was my very first memory of my father walking out after an argument with my mother, and we watched him walk away, not to be seen for I don't know how long, But
Yeah,
what I come to know is that feeling that I was experiencing as I got older. Uh, I come to find out that it was rejection. And bro, I carried that rejection
yeah,
for 34 years. That was the root
yeah,
cause of everything, and I had such resentment and anger and hate built up. And I felt like I didn't have a place. I was already, felt like I was already rejected. And so it was tough. I always fought for acceptance and I tried to appeal to different subcultures or cultures or groups of people to try to find my
yep,
identity. And I could never find it. I was never
yep,
satisfied, and so I was always in pain. And of course, what led me to being rebellious and using drugs, but then also once he left, we moved off, and my mother and my two other siblings, and we grew up in like a poverty stricken area where we were where it was a drug riddled, high crime, poverty stricken area, and all that's all you've seen, and that's all everybody knows, and
hmm
that's all I was exposed to. And so I took my first drink of alcohol at 9. My snorted my first line of cocaine at 11. Found myself in a juvenile detention facility at right at the age of 15. Of course, I was a dropout in school. Was introduced to meth and opiates right before the age of 18, and then 3 months after I turned 18, I caught my first uh, big boy charge, and 2 years later, I found myself in prison. And of course, that didn't slow me down. It didn't stop me, and and my disease would progress in time. 2, 3, 5, 8, 16 year sentences, and so
yeah.
um, still currently on my 16. I've got about 8 years left of it to walk down, but um,
And
uh,
just let me interrupt for just a second,
uh-huh.
and just to show you how God works, y'all. Like you work with or were working. I don't know what you're doing now. A lot has changed since the last time we talked, but you were working with the governor's office, weren't
Well,
you,
I'm
in
I
Tennessee?
am. Yeah, so I work with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health Substance Abuse Services.
Yeah,
Uh, cur-
on parole, y'all. Currently
yeah,
on parole, and
yeah,
God's got him in
yeah.
basically in
And
government work.
it's crazy. And, last January, a few of us that were scattered across the state were invited to Nashville to the Capitol, and they recognized us for our outstanding work in the community, in our
Yeah,
communities and across the state. And we, and then they asked us to become advisory council members with the governor's office of their faith-based and community initiatives. So it was man, it was a surreal moment, you know. And we don't do what we do for validation or for applause
no, no,
or anything,
right.
but man, it's nice when uh somebody just says, "Hey, I see you. Good job.
Yeah,
I see you." You know.
I can, and not even trying to put you on the spot, but I can imagine working in any kind of way with the government. It can be a little frustrating sometimes because hands are tied by legislation, it's tied by laws, it's tied by funding.
Yeah.
Their hands are
So
tied by all the things. So you get frustrated. So to hear
yeah,
that, just hey, bro, thank you.
yeah. Appreciate it, man. Our governor, man, too, he says government's not the answer. He'll tell
No,
you.
it's not.
Yeah,
Yep.
he'll tell you government's not the answer. We're here to be a resource, but the real answer is in the community, and we leverage.
Yeah.
We ourselves are a resource that we need to be leveraging in our community, because all these things that we discuss affect every sector of society in my community, in our communities. So if it affects every sector of society in our community, then there need to be advocates in every sector that are willing to roll up their sleeves, be boots on the
Come
ground,
on.
frontline workers, and putting that necessary work in, breaking a sweat. It's tough. It's not just for people that have lived experience. We should be at the forefront, yeah, but we should be, and those people from those other sectors should be coming in and say, what do we need to do? Because when we're in
Dude.
recovery, all they say is, uh, what we're taught to do is serve, serve, serve,
Yeah,
serve,
right,
meet the
right,
need. If there's a need, you take action and you go meet it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
right.
have to be this big, grandiose idea. If there is somebody that's homeless, then or that's without a home, then all it takes is a construction worker that's well off and some participants just to build a little shelter, just a simple little shelter where they can at least
Hmm.
be there for transit till we get them somewhere else. I mean, that's cost effective. That's not going to be too hard on the pocket. Whatever, it could be something that simple that gets them
Yeah,
out of the cold, or out of the heat, or out of the rain, or out of the snow. It's something
yeah,
so simple. Like, let's just roll our sleeves up, and while we're over here uh trying to gather ideas and implement something that could be sustainable, let's go ahead and have something set up for these individuals. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm just saying it requires more
yeah. I
action
agree.
than more processing, you know. And so that's actually what my role is, in my job, is to go into the communities and discuss with them how they themselves are a resource that they can leverage. Whatever your little is, your little is a lot. Your little is still
Yeah,
a lot when you put it together with the rest of the community members that have a little. It doesn't matter. A little makes a lot if you bring it together.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I talk about Ben and Jess a lot on the show because they're my mentors. They're our sister organization. They're who we're kind
Mhm.
of trying to
Yeah.
pattern ourselves after. But they're doing an amazing job of that too. Like, I'll never forget the last event I went to in March, the very first cleanup event they had at that old nursing home they bought.
Hmm.
There's an MPD officer, a Memphis PD officer out there on duty, and
Yeah.
he's out there with a rake and a shovel helping them clean
Yeah. Yeah.
because he realized, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the
Yeah.
kind of, and it's good for folks in the hood to see that, because
Hmm.
now all of a sudden he might still be the enemy, but hey, that's a cool dude. He's out here trying to make it worse, or make it better. You know what I
Make it
mean?
better. Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And it tears down them walls. It does,
it
man.
does.
It tears down it doesn't have to be us versus them. It doesn't have
No,
to
it
be.
doesn't.
You know, no, we can work together. When we opened up that gym, I told everybody that they could
Yeah.
come, and that's what happened. And so we had people in active addiction walking alongside law enforcement on treadmills. And I said, that's what we need to be doing
Yeah,
in the
man.
community, walking
Yeah,
alongside one another. You know,
yeah.
yeah, the news came down and everything. It was crazy, but yeah, and still to this day, that's what's taking place there. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's exactly what has to happen. You mentioned about how, your governor said government isn't the answer. And Ben says this all the time too, is if it was, the war on drugs would have already been successful.
Oh my
Right.
gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
You just say Nancy Reagan's just say no campaign would have been successful. It's
Golly.
it's got to be, you got to hit the community and you got to go from the bottom up. I mean, it takes legislators being on board with it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and helping,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you can't just do it from the top down. You've got to do it from the bottom up.
Man, it's got to be organic, man. It's got
Yeah.
to be organic. It's got to be literal grassroots, being in the battlefield of that
Yeah.
thing. Not just,
Yeah.
and I appreciate there's a space for them, but
Oh yeah, 100%. You got to
there,
have, it's got to be both, but
yeah,
you can't do one without the other.
yeah, but we've got to tackle that thing together. And what needs to happen is people need to actively get out in their community and see. what's going on in their they need
Yeah.
to see it with their own eyes. They need to participate in the
Yeah, man.
rebuilding or the you know in the shaping of what that thing looks like. They need to participate in it,
Yeah.
you know, because then you've got sweat equity in it.
Hmm.
And you can also see the hurt and the pain and the hunger for a better life. And when you're looking in an individual's eyes and they're telling you some of their life story, man,
Yeah.
and if it does not hit you right here in the feels,
Yeah.
then man, yeah, you need to go on anyway because we don't
Right.
need we don't need none of that. Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
if that doesn't make if that does not activate some form of movement, if that does not compel you to want to do something better in your community. I say this all the time though.
Yeah.
I say that I don't believe that the pinnacle of a community or communities can be reached until the needs of the most underserved and underprivileged are
Yeah.
met. And the only
Yeah.
way that you can meet those needs of the underserved and the underprivileged are to be amongst the underserved and the
Yeah.
underprivileged, having conversations with them so you have a better understanding of what needs to happen and then take action and make it happen.
Right. Because let's just use this for an example. What's it called? Section 8 housing or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. But what led that person to get there? How can we fix that? You know
Facts.
what I mean? And nobody's talking to them about that. I'm
Hmm.
not going to say nobody, but it's not happening like it should.
Hmm.
Um, because what led this person to be unemployed or on disability or gaming the system or whatever the case is, like
Hmm.
what led them to that, and how can we fix it where we can get them out of Section 8
Yeah.
into a job, into a house,
Hmm.
and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And the only way you're going to find out is if you
Is
sit
to get
down
in there.
and
Yeah.
converse with them. That's it. You
Yeah.
know, that is it. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Get to the root. You have
Get to
to.
the root.
You got
Yeah.
to get to the root of everything. You got to get to the root of everything. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, but so a lifelong same thing with me. I got to a place where I just got my 16-year sentence, and I was sitting in prison, and I'm gonna tell you, man, there, trust me, there were times I've been to 7 treatment centers, and there were times when I really tried to get it together, where I was really going
Hmm.
to put forth this valiant effort and stuff. And I just never could because I was so overwhelmed with other things. This wasn't about my addiction. This was about my irresponsibility and growing up and not having a mentor, a father, or
Right.
all this stuff, and not being taught things and not knowing how to be responsible as a man. And not learning how to deal with my emotions, not having
Hmm.
emotional intelligence or regulating my emotions, where I was just impulsive, bro. So however I felt, my uh my feelings dictated my behavior. So however I felt is
And I don't,
however I moved.
yeah, and I don't think people realize just how prevalent that is, man. In my 8.5 year, almost 8.5 years in, that was one
Mhm.
of the biggest things I saw is people, and it wasn't that they were dumb or that they didn't have common sense.
Mhm.
They just acted on whatever they were feeling in that exact moment.
Yeah.
And if they went to seg behind it, they went to seg behind it. They did not give
Mhm.
two flips one way or the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why they were failing when they got out. Is just it was just blow and go, like whatever. So
It was
learning how to
whatever.
deal with that, it was
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah, bro. It was the effort for me. Like when the bills were piling up, like the bills never stopped.
Oh yeah.
The work, I didn't know how to hold a job. The work was relentless, and I had fines and fees and child support and all. I mean, I had all these things coming at me, and I was just like, man, I'm not ready for this. I was
Yeah.
you're putting me in a bubble
Yeah.
without any real world experience, and you're wanting me to practice these things without just kind of edging me in softly.
and
And
not
so
and not showing you how to do it. Like there's like You've been in
bro.
and out of detention centers and treatment and addicted your whole life, and they want you to get out and be a productive member of society that quick.
Bro, I was a productive member of the criminal justice system, and
Come
you're
on,
wanting me,
man, for real.
and you're wanting me to go from one world and adapt to the other world, and it's like, okay, you're giving me slow pitches in prison of what's going to happen. They're slow, but when I get out, I'm getting 100-mile-per-hour fastballs. Life is
Yeah,
throwing
man.
them at me at 100 mile, and I'm like, oh my god, you weren't pitching to me like this when I was locked up and telling me about. You was soft serving me, you know, and I was just like,
Yeah.
my goodness. I said, my goodness. And so of course, I'm going to revert back to the only thing that I know, you know,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course I know.
And that's,
And
I've said it literally, I bet I've said it 300 times on this show and on, in social media posts is if you keep doing that to people, they're going to revert back to what they know to make ends meet.
man, you
And
better
that's going
believe
to
it.
be the biggest cause of recidivism is either no gainful employment available where they can actually make a living, but then also throwing all that stuff at them that fast
Yeah.
and just expecting them to know how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Finds like everything you just said. Like
Yeah.
it to me, it's the biggest cause of recidivism there is. It's got to be.
Oh,
And
bro.
I can't prove it. I hadn't looked at any stats or anything like that, and there probably won't be any on that. But just seeing what I've seen, been going through this stuff since 2008. You know what I mean? Like it's just you're setting people up for failure and not giving them a way out.
Oh, yeah, bro. I'm telling you, look, so, I had to, at the end of the day, and I say this all the time, man. I go everywhere. I speak a lot to a lot of men, a lot of women, prisons and jails, and
Yeah.
community gatherings and events and all that stuff. And I always say this, that at the end of the day, before I could, before all these or before these resources were accumulated and given to me to kind of assist me, it doesn't matter until I become resourceful myself,
Come on.
you know.
Come
And
on.
so I had to look myself in the mirror and say, Chris, this is on you. This is on you. You're either gonna fight you, or you're just gonna give in. You're gonna lay down.
Yep.
And so what I did that changed everything, bro, was that when they talk about playing the tape over, like playing the tape about what happens when you get high, I didn't need
Yeah.
that. Know what happens when I get high. Man, it's shambles. I needed to roll the tape. I needed to roll the tape on how difficult getting my life was together. I needed to see
Yeah.
myself saying, "Hey, I'm about to get it together," but I need to see the no from the job. I need to see the setbacks. I need to see the frustration. I need to see the discouragement. I need to feel defeated. I needed to watch myself sometimes wake up in the morning and want to pull the covers back over my head. I wanted to see the naysayers. I wanted to feel the stigma. That's the tape that I played through. And after I played it through, Chris, I said, sign me up anyway, because this is no turning back. I don't need to know what happens when I get high. I know I need to roll the tape
Right.
about how difficult this thing is going to be. And I said, come hell or high water, bro, I'm going to clap. I'm going to crawl.
Come
I'm going
on,
to
man.
scratch. I'm gonna claw my way through this thing, because somebody else needs to see me do it. Somebody else needs to
Yeah.
see me struggle and not fall. And or if I do fall, get back up and keep pushing.
Yeah.
Man.
I like that, dude. I like that. I don't need to see what happened. Last time I got high, I ended up back in prison. I don't need to see that. I know that.
I know what happens. Yeah.
Right.
Roll the tape about how hard this is going to be. Let me understand that I'm not in this pink cloud moment where everything's all good, sunshine and rainbow. No, man, because it's going to rain. It's going to rain, man. And look, I need to understand what it's like to feel like a wet dog out in the rain. I need to understand that this is not everybody's going to be accepting of me. Not everybody's going to trust you instantly, Chris. Your family may not still want
No,
to get close to you. Your kids
come
may
on.
not want to talk to you. I needed to roll that tape and say, I'm still going to go through this anyway, because this is
Yeah,
all about me building a life, a
yeah,
foundation, creating a foundation to build on it and struggle through that thing. Come hell or high water, I'm going to make it. And right
yeah,
now, I just celebrated 8 years, July 20th, of freedom.
yeah,
Not just freedom
yeah,
from addiction, just freedom, bro. Just
yeah.
freedom. And I was like, man, we're still scratching the surface. We're still fighting and clawing our way to where I want to go,
Yeah.
and people need to see that.
Just a couple months ago, I now have. I mean, I didn't go to prison until I was 28, but I mean, after I went to prison, I now have longer out than I had in. I've been out for longer than I was in now,
Yeah.
and it hit me that, like you said, we're just scratching the surface. Like
Hmm.
it's. I've been out 9 years now. I was locked up for 8 years and 3 months. Um, but it's just scratching the surface. Like there's like what's really about to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
You better believe it. I'll. That's a good warm little handoff right there, Chris. I'm about to. I'm about to.
Tell us what's about to happen.
Yeah, I'm about to step into the next chapter of my life, man. And my goal from here, I didn't know it. I just knew, excuse me, that I wanted to help more people. And I didn't know what that looked like. I just wanted to be willing, ready, and available. And I wanted to speak life into people, you know. And so my goal was to have a facility. It was to have a facility, bro, and have men in that facility that had some similar experiences than I had, and had difficulty and challenges and still have them, but be able to have a
Yeah,
safe place to edge themselves, where I edge them back out into the world, as so they can slowly get a feel get a feel
yeah,
of what life is going to be like, all while being productive and in a safe place too. So
yeah.
I just, man, I just literally took a partnership with vocational rehabilitation men's transitional facility for um, currently or formerly incarcerated individuals, man. And
Wow.
I take on that role in 2 weeks. Yeah, and so I'm a
No
partner in
kidding.
this facility, and right now we've got about 50 men, close to 50 men, and we're this close to buying another facility, or we're going to
No
buy another
kidding.
place and turn it into a facility. Yeah, yeah, no government help, no government help, or any assistance. It's just strictly connections, relationships within the community, within those companies and organizations that are second chance employers, and those men having a safe place to be able to go out and work and have some social integration,
Yeah.
and people getting to see them as hard workers, as people who just had a rough past that are trying to do better, and they themselves can become assets to their community and not
Come
liabilities.
on.
You know,
Come
and
on.
so uh, and
I love
and
it.
so my goal is to have about 4 or 5 of these facilities. Okay,
Okay.
and so we've got one. I think we're about to have our second one, and I'm excited. I'm excited because here's the whole thing. I tell people all the time, yeah, I'm still on this 16-year sentence. This has not limited me. The only
Right.
time that it has always limited me is because I placed a limitation on it.
Right. Yep.
I'm flying out to Vegas tomorrow to speak, and I had to
Yeah.
get a travel request. I had to request permission from my PO, of
Yeah.
course, but
Right.
they don't bother me, and neither does this 16-year sentence. It does not affect me. Matter of fact, it's helped to propel me. It's helped to propel me because I'm doing all these things and it's not restricted my movement at all. You
Right.
know, Yeah,
Right.
it's not restricting my movement, but I'm in a good place in my life to where I can do that and become a partner. And I'm
Dude,
stable.
who is oh man, what's his name? He's on LinkedIn and he's on Facebook. Uh Darren Wallace, the former TDC Texas prison warden. He's been on my show a couple times. It's a
I'd have
friend
to
of
see him.
his.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a friend. Man, I don't remember his name, but he's on a life sentence or a 60-something year sentence or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he made the decision when he was locked up, and he was locked up under Darren, and that's how
Mhm.
they met. And then after he got out and Darren retired, they became friends. Anyway, he travels the world right now.
Yeah.
He goes in every month to his parole office and
Hmm.
gets like multiple travel permits,
Yeah.
and his parole officer signs off on everything. National, international travel. We're talking about leaving the country. You know what I
That's
mean?
incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do too.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
soon. Soon. Yeah. It was suggested to me, Chris, that um I asked for a I asked for an expungement because of my positions and stuff like that. And I said, no, I don't need one. I want people to see that you can walk this whole thing down and it
Yeah,
not affect you at all.
yeah,
I need the men to see it in the same position that are in the same predicament as I am. That man,
yeah,
you can walk this bad boy down. And you can still be business. I've been a multi-business owner. I'm out of debt. I've become a fitness instructor. I got a degree in social work. Yeah, I go all over the place. Like my movement is not predicated on whether I'm on parole or
hmm.
no, because
No, it's not.
I got somebody higher than
That's
them
it.
calling the shots in my life, bro.
That's
You
it.
know,
And
yeah,
people think that when you're on parole you can't do anything, but you got people like you and people like I can't remember that dude's name. That's irritating me. But then like even one of our drivers at my day job, like he's on parole for a murder sentence. He caught a murder charge when he was 20, 21 years old. He beat a dude to death in a bar.
yeah,
Um, but he travels out of state.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And his parole officer don't even make him get travel permits. He just knows he's a truck driver
yeah, mm-hmm,
because he does what you know what I'm saying. He doesn't give him any problems or anything like that.
yeah,
But this he's
yeah.
got God on his side,
Come on,
blessing that. You know what I
come
mean?
on, yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Listen, when God determines your step, no person,
Yeah,
whether
it don't
that
matter.
tries
It don't
to
matter.
intercept or interfere, can't
Yeah,
do nothing about it. They
yeah.
can't do nothing about it.
Uh-uh.
No, yeah.
No.
So, man, so I'm excited for this
So are you
next
still going to
chapter of
be
my
on the
life.
advisory board with the governor's office? Are you still going to be doing
Yeah,
that too? Okay. Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I'll still be on the advisory board. Our council. Matter of fact, we meet next month. We're rolling out an initiative. We've already rolled it out in the East Tennessee and Middle Tennessee, where we're doing a volunteer mentorship initiative. Individuals
Okay.
that are currently doing well on their parole or probation or have completed it will become a mentor to the individuals that are currently
Man, I
incarcerated in
love that.
prison. And they walk back they walk them through the last year of their sentence, and
Hmm.
so and then on the outside as well. So they have somebody that has had that experience that can coach,
Yeah.
mentor, or and befriend them and say, hey,
Yeah.
listen, I'm getting through this, or I've gotten through this. This can be doable. And they have somebody that they can actually see, talk with, coming back
Yeah.
into the prison to do that with them and create that relationship and build up that
Yeah.
rapport and instill confidence that if they can do it, I can too. Yeah.
Hey, just to throw another success story like this out here. I know you know Michael Springer.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
from Lone Oak County, just north of Little Rock. He's a felon, been down, I don't know how many times. Used to shoot
Mhm.
dope, used to cook dope, all of
Yeah.
it. Like he was
Yeah.
known. And now he works for the daggum sheriff's office
And that's
as
something.
isn't that crazy? Like he's not an
Yeah.
officer, by the way, y'all. Like he's not
Yeah.
out there patrolling, but he works in the jail, and with the sheriff's office, like doing counseling and other stuff with addiction. But he works for him, like he's got an office there.
I love that guy. I want to meet him. You know,
Dude, first time
yeah.
I ever went to Memphis last July,
Hmm.
I was posting about it, and I learned real quick, whenever you're doing stuff like this, people come out of the woodworks. You get messages all the time.
Hmm.
Michael messages me, and he's like, "Hey, what's up with this schedule you posted about? I need it." And I was like, "Bro, I don't even know who you are." And I
Yeah.
messaged Ben, and Ben was like, "Yeah, you're fixing to be sharing an Airbnb with him. Like, he's solid, bro. Him and Justin work both, dude. Like, they are just about as they are so cool, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool."
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get up with him soon, man. I am.
Yeah, man, you
Yeah.
need to, dude. He's a badass for real.
Man, but it's those stories like that, man.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
yeah, so I'm going to tell you what it is. See, it's not just giving hope to that person with that same experience as you. It's giving hope to the members of our community that may have
yes.
had that may have turned their heart. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
yes, yes.
yeah, yes, yeah, and that's how
And
the
that's
community changes.
come on,
That's how the
come
community
on. They
changes.
they have got to see it, and I think it's something I've really been praying about. And I just as like we're talking about this, God put this on my heart, just like right now. Is I
Yeah,
think we're going to be pioneers in Jacksonville and Cherokee County for that because a lot of people have the attitude, not in my backyard kind of thing, and kind of turn their back to it, and
yeah,
don't want to admit that there's an issue here. All
yeah.
the things you run into, especially in a small town in Texas, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but I really feel God just put it on my heart, man. Like I think we're going to be pioneers for that.
Mm,
It's to just
mm,
show them like this is what can happen. You look at me, you look at my girlfriend Stormy, she was here. I don't know if she's still here. She's got an amazing comeback story with addiction.
mm.
And you have people like us doing stuff in the community, and then you have people going through, whatever kind of halfway house we end up with, or however it looks. And now they're working and they're paying taxes and they're putting money back into the community and all this kind of stuff. And they're seeing the success. That's exactly how it's going to change their hearts.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. And that takes time. Just like an individual
Will. Yeah.
in their recovery. In their recovery. Progress
Yeah.
is real subtle. Progress is real subtle. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
so is the changing of somebody's opinion. And and if it does change it and they change their heart, it's a beautiful thing. But if it
Yeah.
doesn't, you know what we're going to do? We're going to keep on serving. We're going to keep on putting our
Yeah.
best foot
Yeah.
forward to make this community better one way or another, just by
Yeah.
helping the next person that needs it. That's it.
Yep.
Yes.
No, I agree 100%. I agree.
Mhm.
Boy, that is crazy how God works, man. I'm talking about, he just put that on my heart heavy, heavy just now.
Wow. Then you know what it is.
Man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You know what it is, man. You know? Yeah. So man, get it together.
Oh,
Gotta
yeah,
gotta get it
man.
together. Yeah,
I
bro.
love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I love it.
yeah.
Dude, this
Woo.
has been awesome. Like we've gone 43 minutes, 44 minutes now, and I feel like we only been talking for about 3.
I know, bro. I know. Just it just pumps me up, man, when we're talking because what we're really talking about is life and abundant
Life.
life.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And and we're talking about being an inspiration, being an impact, being a change agent in our community. And
Yeah.
it excites me, bro. Life excites
Yeah,
me.
man.
Look, I'm going to tell you what. Here's the beautiful thing. See, we're in this world, and the world's thrown us a million things. That's not that's not life being thrown at us. Life
Mm-mm.
does not come at us. Life comes from us. Okay, you
Mm.
know, and
Come
so
on.
yeah,
Come on, boy.
it comes from us.
Yes.
How I respond
Yes.
is life. This out here, that's not
Yes.
life. That's not life. Life is from me,
Yeah.
and so I'm going to live from within. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. We can show them the fruits, if you will,
Yeah.
the fruit of the spirit, if you will. That's from within. That's life.
Yeah.
That is
And I think
life.
there's a verse in the Bible somewhere that talks about out of our bellies will spring rivers of living water. We're
Out,
life. You're exactly right. We're the
that's
ones. We're life. You're
We're life.
100% right.
We're life. It comes from us, bro. We're just
Yeah.
out here. Yeah, we're out here in the world, but life comes from within, man. And
Yeah.
so and that's how we're going to handle the things that are thrown at us, that the world throws at us. You know, that will be what our life is within.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I've past few weeks or past couple months since coming out of the alcohol addiction and all that, my mind has like been spaghetti. I've been thinking about all kinds of stuff to
Mhm.
do with the Raven and addiction and stuff like that. But we've
Yeah.
all heard the saying, sit with warriors, the conversation hits different.
Hmm.
And addicts are their own warrior, or their warriors in their own way. But I've thought many a time over the past couple months, go sit down with an addict and just listen. Just listen. Just let them talk. The
Hmm.
way they look at life, the way they view things, the appreciation they have for stuff now.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
it's 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 totally different than somebody who's never walked through it. And everybody has walked through their own crap, right? So everybody
Yeah.
has their
Yeah.
own view. But
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
from an addict's point of view, is you just have this different kind of appreciation.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I've heard
You
Stormy
do.
talk about it 100 times, man. She's like,
Yeah.
the life I have now, and I didn't even know it. I'm gonna put Rachel on the spot for a minute. She may or may not remember this. I've known Rachel since there used to be a men's sober living house here called the Harvest House, and her
Mhm.
husband led worship there whenever they had their weekly service on Monday nights. And me and my ex-wife used to go there. I've known Rachel for a minute, and I had no clue the
Mhm.
stuff she'd been through. Well, she gave her testimony. I recently started going to the same church they do.
Mhm.
And she recently gave her testimony at a church, and she asked, she sent me the video and asked me to kind of critique it. And I was like, I would not have done anything different, but I had no clue she's gone through the stuff she's gone through. But you just sit and you listen and you realize why these people are, and I say these people, including you and me,
Mhm.
why they have such an appreciation for life now.
Man.
Because you've been through it, you've lost it all, you've been in the darkness, you've hit
Man.
rock bottom, and you've come out of it.
Mhm. Mhm. That's
And you're
it.
just your life now, your life.
Your life.
Life is oozing out of you.
Life. That's exactly right. It's the appreciation. It's the appreciation. I'm going to tell you what, bro. I you know I do. I always feel like there's more to do. Right. I always do because I don't
Always.
think. I don't think that we'll ever reach our full potential while we're on this earth, and that means I have room to grow, room to
Right.
learn, room to
Right.
improve. Right, so I'm never going to stop doing that. Right,
Yeah.
uh, but if it was the end today, I would be pleased with what happened in this
Mm.
in this world. So, but
Mm-hmm.
but the happiest, one of the happiest moments that I ever had in my life was when I had been rejected for five jobs, and they were like fast food jobs, bro. Nobody would give me a shot.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
would give me a shot. And I finally got an interview. I got an interview, and I literally ran 2.5 miles to that interview because I didn't have a license. I was in a halfway house,
Right.
and I ran down there, and I was sick of being given a no, sick of a no, no, no. After they just listen, all I wanted to do was fried chicken, and they wouldn't let me fry chicken, Chris. That's what I told them. They were looking at my background. All I wanted to do was fry chicken. I told them I'd be the best chicken fryer they ever
I,
had, but
and
and they
I'm
were like,
laughing, but that just goes to show you how terrible it really is when it comes to that box you got to check. That's a
"It's
whole nother
awful.
soapbox and a whole nother
Yeah,
conversation. But it's
it's
just
awful.
they won't
It's
even let
awful,
you
bro.
stand back there and fry chicken.
Fried chicken, man." Man, they probably knew I was going to steal a couple pieces, put in my pocket. Yeah,
Right? You
but
was hungry.
but 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 this place called me, and I went down there. I ran down there, and she was looking at my application and stuff, and nobody was in there. It was a cleaning day that they were doing. It was at a pizza place or something, and we sat down, and she was about to start talking, and I said, "Hold on." I said, "Listen." I said, "Before we get into this, I said, can I just give you some of my story, please?" And she said, "Yeah." So I took her through my story, and she started crying. She started crying, and she said, after I got done, she said, one of my greatest memories was going with my father to AA meetings because he was an alcoholic, and I watched him change his life. You know, and so after we talked for a minute, she said, "I'm going to give you a shot." I said, "That's all I need." I said, "I'll be the best pizza maker you ever had." And so she started me out, Chris. She started me out at $9 an hour. Okay.
Wow.
And so when I left there though, I was so happy about that little old $9 an hour and
Yeah.
having to run to work every day 2.5 miles and run back 2.5 miles. It was the greatest, one of the happiest times because
Yeah.
somebody gave me a shot. I didn't need a
Yeah.
whole bunch. I didn't need a lot. I didn't need anything. All I needed was
Right.
somebody to give me a chance, and I was going to show up. And I did. She gave me the store. I became store manager in 3 months, but
So let me ask you this. If, because I don't know where your mindset was when you got out, but
Mhm.
if you had been told yes on your first job, would you have been as good an employee or as good a worker or been as appreciative as if you had gotten multiple no's and then somebody actually listened to you and gave you your story or listened to your story and gave you a shot?
well, mind you, I'd already been out. Now I'd already been through treatment and all that. I was in a
Okay.
halfway
Okay.
house, yeah. But my first job was a dishwasher. I was washing dishes as soon as
Okay.
I got out
Okay.
of prison. Yeah, I got out of
Okay.
prison and I went and washed dishes for $50, and I wasn't grateful. I wasn't grateful for an opportunity. Yeah. So my mindset initially, my perspective was
Yeah.
completely different, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, so my outlook and my attitude was different when I went down there to that pizza place. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, so
Yeah.
completely different perspectives
Right.
just in a
That's
matter
what I
of,
was getting at.
yeah, just in a matter of 5 months. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pissed I had to wash dishes, bro, for $50. I said, this is
Right.
crazy. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but somebody gave me and I was just in a great place, man. And I didn't need much. I didn't make much. Yeah, I didn't have much, but inside I had it all, bro. I was so
Yeah.
grateful and I was at peace.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, and I didn't know where I didn't know where God was going to or nothing. I was just present in that day,
Hmm.
grateful for an opportunity. That was it, you know. And
Yeah.
so I try to remember that. I always try to remember that now. Like you can go for goals, you can keep shooting and keep shooting and keep shooting. But Chris, stay present and be grateful for where
Yeah.
you're at. Too. My wife reminds me all the time too. She was like, Chris, we're in the best position we've ever been in our life.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. Don't ever forget that. She told me that like
Yeah.
3 years ago. You know,
Yeah.
and we're in an even better position today. But be present, be present and grateful for today. Because
Yeah.
yesterday's too late, tomorrow's too soon, and today is right on time. So
Yeah.
be grateful for the right on time. Be grateful for the now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I need, you need that reminder, especially the longer you've been out.
Hmm.
Um, so I started dating Stormy in May, and she's been out for a couple years now. She just got out just a few weeks ago, celebrated 2 years of being out.
Come on.
Um, yeah, come on. But because it's still so new to her,
Hmm.
she still has that gratitude where some of the things I started taking for granted. And
Man.
so just being around her has been a reality check for me because it's been
Hmm.
like, oh snap, you know what? You're right. Like
Hmm.
this could disappear that quick,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. Look where you were. I wasn't ever homeless I didn't have a home, but I wasn't ever on the streets. I was always, couch crashing or whatever.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah,
still
yeah.
didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like it
right,
was just
right.
I didn't have anything.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, never let me get complacent. And so just being around her and just having that reality check of, you know what, you're
Yeah,
right, God. Like,
yeah.
all right, I'm sorry I got complacent and I'm sorry I got lackadaisical in this, but thank you so much for the life you've given me today.
Man, come on, bro. Yeah, because look, there's somebody out there. there's somebody out there right now that
That
would,
would give their left nut for that.
oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. And I got to
Yeah.
remember that guy was me. That person was
Yeah.
me. That
Yeah.
person was me. Yeah. Don't lose. Don't lose it, Chris. Don't you lose that
No, no,
gratitude. Don't you
no,
lose.
no, no, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
God put her in that, put her in my life for so many reasons, but that
Oh,
also was huge because
yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
reality check that I needed.
That was me saying, "Don't you lose it, Chris Smith. Don't you lose that, Chris Smith.
Oh,
Don't you lose that. Yeah. Don't
yeah.
you lose that." Yeah. I'm talking to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't lose it, Chris Hennessy either, though.
Yeah. Facts. You know. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah. So just practicing that. And I'm gonna tell you what that is. And just to be honest, it's all tough, right? It
Yeah,
is. It's all tough,
yeah,
man. Yeah, it is, man. Because
yeah,
because I still have them moments, and I still have those times, and those days, and that's cool. That's fine. I just know how to process differently today, and take a breather, and take a
yeah,
breather. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, man. Yeah. Hmm. Man, this has been good.
Man, it's been real good, dude. From the moment you got on here, man.
Yeah, I haven't been doing many podcasts lately. I did about 20 last year, and but I've been just speaking, man. I've just been doing more speaking, and I'm grateful for that as well. And I hope that picks up. I hope that picks up, man, because my recovery isn't just off of drugs. It's about the pursuit of potential, and practicing these principles in all my affairs, every aspect of my life. I want to get better. I want to improve. I want to go hard. I'm all in. That's something that we, as people with addiction, lived experience, we're either all in or we're all out. You know, and I lost your mic. I can't hear you. Uh-uh. Lost you. Can you hear me? Yep. No, I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Hmm. Did he leave me? I don't know if I need to sing or not. Do I need to do something? Uh-uh. No.
Oh
There.
crap! I hit the mute button on my mic.
That's what I thought. That's what we do. That's what we
Yeah,
do.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, man, I've
I don't even
appreciated
remember
it,
what I
bro.
was saying now.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a good conversation, man, and I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you. Like I told you backstage and when we started, man, just the me being able to text you when I was blitzed out of my mind, going through withdrawals and should have probably been in detox and
Hmm.
wasn't, and me being able to be honest with you, and
Hmm.
immediately the phone rang. Like
Hmm.
he didn't even text me back, y'all. Some of y'all may have missed it because we talked about it at the very beginning. He didn't even text me back. He immediately called me and said, I love you, bro. It's good. The Ravens good. God is not done with you. He don't give up. We're gonna get through this. If you need me, call me. We talked. Maybe it wasn't even very long. Maybe a 3 or 4 minute conversation. Of course,
Yeah.
I'm drunk and emotional and I'm bawling my eyes out. But it doesn't mean the emotion wasn't real. I was broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and just to not have that judgment
Mhm.
um, was pretty amazing. And that really was kind of what made it easier for me to start talking about it. Because it's easy for me to talk about my drug addiction because that ended in 2008. That was
Mhm.
17 years ago. Uh,
Mhm.
this is brand new, and I'm in the addictions recovery space. So it was a whole different dynamic. But just being able to tell you that, and you coming on and just I love you, bro. Like I'll never forget it. was just really a catalyst, I think, for me being able to be a lot more open about it than, a few people knew. I told Ben and some of our men's group from Memphis, and, obviously Stormy knew and a couple other people, but like just being open about it. Crap happens, man. Like stuff happens.
It does, bro.
It's going to happen, and it's just what you do with it on the other side,
That's right. That's it.
So
That's it. And here you are, bro. Here you are. Yeah. That's a win. That's
yeah,
a
I
win.
didn't have to cancel on you tonight, so that's a huge win.
You better believe it. Yeah. So we're winning. We're winning, bro. We're winning. Yeah.
And I can't even tell you, dude, how many last year that I canceled on. Just, I'm sick, I can't make it. You know what I mean? You were the first person I was honest with about it, and that really was a turning point for me. So thank you for that, man. I really appreciate it.
Well, I love you, bro.
Man,
I love you
too, dude.
Yeah. Still do.
Yeah, another comeback story. I don't know if I have another one in me, Rachel. I sure don't want to have to go through another one.
Come on. It just adds to you, bro. It just adds to the testimony of your life and the texture of why the Raven is here. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
man, I mean, it gives it even more depth, bro. Yeah. So, and even more so while we're doing what we do. Absolutely. So thank you for what you do, bro. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, dude, thanks for coming on tonight, man. Like, I'm excited to see where God takes you with these sober living houses and the facilities that you're opening up and all that, dude. Like, I see like that's gonna be freaking huge. Between you and Ben, y'all are gonna change Tennessee he's gonna have Western Tennessee, you're gonna have Eastern Tennessee, and y'all gonna meet somewhere in the middle and get her done.
No, I'm in West Tennessee too.
Are you?
Yeah,
I knew that. I knew that. No, I did. I knew that. Yeah, I knew that. Because you're only like an hour and a half from Memphis. That's right.
Yeah. I'm in Northwest. Right. He's in Southwest. So, man,
that's right. You're
listen, right. We'll make impact there, and we'll just make it infectious across our state and sistering states as well, bro. So that's what we're going. That's what we're going to do. That's what we are going to do. We'll just speak it into existence. Yeah.
Yep. I believe it in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
I mean, y'all got y'all in Western Tennessee, and you got Michael and Justin in Arkansas, and we're down here in Texas, man. It's just a one big line like that.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Just joining hands, stretching hands.
You've got Yvette, wherever she is. She's here somewhere. Yvette and Kendall, and they're in Northwest Louisiana. She's in South Louisiana, but Kendall just opened a house in Northwest Louisiana, in Shreveport, I believe, or somewhere right around there. So it's spreading, bro.
I'd like to talk to her. That's where my partner's from, and he has some partners down there that's got some facilities, I believe, in Louisiana. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think she's in the Baton Rouge area, and Kendall's in Shreveport, if I remember right. I met them at Christmas in Memphis.
Yeah.
But I don't remember exactly. But yeah, they're trying to get the same thing kind of sort of going down in Louisiana. So
yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Yvette, send him a friend request.
Yeah, please do.
All right. Cool, man. Chris, I love you, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate you taking time out of your day and hanging out with me, man. It's been good. I needed this tonight. It was a good conversation.
Well, I love you, man. And hey, anytime. I'll be down there soon. Mark my word. I'll be in Texas soon. Yes.
So, man, be praying, dude. Like, there's some stuff in the works. I hadn't talked about it too much, but there may be a chance to get a house sooner rather than later.
Okay.
So just be praying about that, because I went and looked at a place, and it's just, I want it to happen. You know what I mean? It needs to happen. We need it. So just y'all be praying about that.
We definitely will, man. Make it happen then.
Cool.
Well, I appreciate you, Bubba.
Yep. All right, y'all. Oh, next week, y'all, I'm looking forward to this one. Sheila Smith is going to be on with me next week. I've actually got her booked for the next 2 weeks, because she was like, bro, my story is crazy. 20-year plus addiction. She was a stripper, and then everything that goes with all that. I haven't heard all of her story, so it's just going to be a live free for all, which I like. I like it like that. I like the raw and the real, and sometimes I like being surprised when somebody tells me something. But she'll be on next week and the week after. She's from Memphis, Tennessee. She's one of the very few that I've met on social media that I have not met in person yet. So we got to change that next time I go. But she'll be on with me next week, and it's going to be it's going to be good. Like I already know it. Like I know it. I can't wait.
Yeah. Fantastic.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Chris, I love you. We'll see you later, man.
Love you too, guys. See y'all, man.